Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand launch has now been threatened by a new trademark dispute. I have brought my good friend DC lawyer John Witherspoon to break it all down. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because is Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand launch threatened by this new trademark dispute? So yes, I've brought my good friend DC lawyer John Witherspoon on to explain this. Thank you so much for joining me today, mate. And yeah, let's just jump right into it, because over the weekend you sent me this, a letter of protest, memorandum, an LOP. Now, before we started filming this, I literally turned round to John and I'm like, John, I've read this back to front. I don't have a clue what you've just sent me. So, John, please take it away. What the hell is this? What does this all mean?
Happy to try and explain, Steph, and it's good to be with you. Thanks for having me on. Let me just back up a little bit and explain how we got to this point, because I think that'll be helpful for people to try and understand what's going on. As we know, Meghan launched her brand, at least in theory. She launched her website, she collected names, she sent out those bowls of lemons with the jam in the middle, and tried to sort of sow the seeds of her brand launch. At the same time she did that, or around the same time, she also filed for trademark protection for American Riviera Orchard. And she tried to register the name, and she tried to register the logo, if you can call it that, with the A and the R and the scripted letters and whatever else is in there. And it has been pending. And as people might recall, about a month or so ago, there was a response issued to her application by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO as it's known. And the attorney at the Trademark Office, who looked at all of her paperwork, said, I see some problems with this. And among other things, you didn't send enough money, and you also didn't sign your application. But above and beyond that, there are some potential issues with conflicting information that has been supplied, and I won't go into too much detail. However, when you start that process, it is a public process. And during the time that your trademark application is pending, as is American Riviera Orchard right now, the information is public, and other interested parties can raise their hand and call to the Trademark Office attention a potential conflict with an existing trademark. And the way that you do that is to file a letter of protest. And that is what we're looking at here. The letter of protest goes to the senior officials in the patent office, the trademark office. It goes up to the deputy commissioner level, which Steph has highlighted there. And that deputy commissioner looks at the letter of protest, and there's a lot of different criteria that you have to meet. It's not just, you can't just send a note on the back of a napkin. You have to fill out a form and pay some money and so forth. So that was done. And then the deputy commissioner looks at the letter of protest and says, either there's nothing to this, this is not really worth considering, or this might have some legitimacy. And in that case, they generate a memo, which is what we're looking at on the screen. And that is then sent down to the examining attorney who is handling the particular application, again, in this case for American Riviera Orchard. The trademark that has been called out as being a potential conflict with American Riviera Orchard is a trademark called Royal Riviera. And they cite some references to it there. Again, Steph has got it highlighted on the screen. And they call out some specific identification numbers and so forth. And then it's up to the examining attorney to say, I feel like this is a problem, or I feel like this is not really likely to be an issue, but it needs to be explained either way when the final decision about the trademark application comes in. So the question comes up, who is using the mark Royal Riviera, and what are they using it for? And there are some candles and some other items that are being sold under the trademark of Royal Riviera. And it's not hard to understand why they would be concerned, because a lot of these products are the same types of products that Meghan is proposing to sell under American Riviera Orchard. The organization or the company or the brand that is using the trademark Royal Riviera is a brand called Harry and David. For those in the United States, you might be familiar with Harry and David if you've ever seen one of their gift baskets. They sell extremely high quality products, very premium fruit and chocolates, and in particular pears. They're very well known for their pears. For people, for instance, in the UK or elsewhere, Harry and David sells products that are on par with the types of things that you would get if you went into Selfridges or if you went into Harrods in the UK and said, I want a gift basket with the best stuff that you've got. That's the level that Harry and David plays on. Harry and David is not a small organization. They are part of a conglomerate of some other companies. One that people in the US might be familiar with, or in North America, is 1-800-Flowers. That is the same conglomerate as Harry and David. Their 2023 revenue was $1.7 billion. That's billion with a B. They are not a small operation. The relevance of all that is that Meghan has managed to get herself tangled up now with an enormous American company that is taking this very seriously. There are any number of different outcomes for the situation, one of which is that she might just have to withdraw some of the categories or classes in which she's interested in selling American Riviera Orchard products. For instance, she might just say, well, you know what, to avoid a conflict, I'm going to just say, I'll withdraw my application to sell candles or anything that might conflict with Royal Riviera. That still might not solve the problem, but that's one of the things that she might try as a strategy to make this problem go away. Another thing that might happen is that the trademark office might say, you know what, this is all a non-issue. There's not likely confusion here between American Riviera Orchard and Royal Riviera. I kind of doubt that they would say that. I think this is probably a legitimate issue that has been raised and a source of potential conflict. The other thing that she might do is to say, you know what, forget all of this business about American Riviera Orchard. Between the problems that I've already had and the problems now that have been raised with the potential conflict with Royal Riviera, I'm just sick of this whole thing. Forget about American Riviera Orchard. I'm just not going to have a lifestyle brand, or I'm going to start over again from scratch and come up with a new name, which would probably be better from a legal standpoint, also better from a marketing standpoint, since everybody seems to think that American Riviera Orchard is a lousy name to begin with. But at a minimum, this is going to cost her more time, more money, and more aggravation. This will no doubt push back the launch date of American Riviera Orchard, and it's just another source of aggravation that she's going to have to deal with. In some ways, I tend to think some of this is self-inflicted. It's an own goal type of a problem for her, but it's certainly something that she's going to have to deal with. And as I said, it's just another source of frustration. It's another, if you want to say, it's another example of her making a misstep with a very large bear that she has now poked in the form of Harry and David. And it's just not the way that you hopefully would want to launch a brand like she's been trying to do.
Well, there you have it, guys. Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand launch has been threatened by this new trademark dispute. John has just explained absolutely everything for you with this new update. Has she been stealing ideas from another brand yet again? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Well, this particular brand fighting her is not letting her get away with it. It's like, not today, Satan. With that being said, if you appreciated what came out of John's gob, and of course you did, then make sure you head on over to Instagram. If you've got an Instagram account, do follow him at WitherspoonDC. It's the only way you're able to contact him if you have any questions from today's video or any previous videos that he's done with me on this channel. Please bear in mind, he may not be able to answer all your questions, but it's a way to contact him. Also, as well, guys, if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here. Just to make you aware, we are currently going through a YouTube purge. What does that mean? Well, from time to time, YouTube likes to unsubscribe you from channels without your knowledge and without your permission. So, firstly, please do make sure you're still subscribed. And secondly, for those that haven't, please subscribe today so we can stick 2 fingers up at YouTube and again say, not today, Satan. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.